The ink was getting dry from the deal and the jets were coming, but the clause of sovereignty was still bleak. In 2016, India signed a deal with France to buy one of the world's most lethal wings, only to find them tethered by invisible chains. But this is India. We never take no for an answer. Deep within the classified labs, a counter-strike began. It was a race to strip away foreign dependency. Bypassing a staunch no and turning it into a blueprint of total autonomy, this is the story of India's scientific victory against the world's denial. Recently, Indian scientists have had a major breakthrough with respect to development of gallium nitride chip technology, and experts call it as a eureka moment for the India's defense technology, because this was a major contention between India and France Rafale jets deal, where we were denied the transfer of technology with respect to this gallium nitride chips. And what is the background of this, and what is the exact issue, and what are the implications of this? Let's see in this video. In 2016, India and France made a deal with respect to 36 Rafale jets, which included 50% of offset clause. So what is this offset clause? Now, the manufacturers would reinvest 30,000 crore into India, in the Indian aerospace and defense ecosystem from this deal. But India didn't want this. They wanted the technology behind it, okay, for which actually the France said a staunch no to India. So there was a reason behind why we got a strong no from France. Thales and Dassault, the two companies and partners which are actually the manufacturers, okay. Now these companies have mastered the integration of GaN chips into the radar of Rafale, okay. Now they knew that if they transfer the technology to us, now that would stop the dependency of India on France and these companies for replenishment, okay. Just imagine now, if you have bought a car, and if you know how to repair it, and if you know from where and how to manufacture the ingredients that it has, or the parts that it has, now you would not be dependent on the service centers, you would not be dependent on the company that actually manufactured it. So now that applies the same with the Rafale jets as well, okay. Now they wanted us to use the radar technology. You can use it, you can have it, but you cannot manufacture it, okay. Now why? Because that would reduce the dependency and that would reduce the profits that they are actually having. They wanted to maintain a strategic monopoly in the manufacturing of this particular chip technology. We are Indians and we never take no for an answer. Similarly, this no actually acted as a catalyst for us to develop this technology indigenously. And Solid State Physics Laboratory of Delhi, this was given the task to develop this technology from scratch, okay, where we faced three major issues. The first one is the material scarcity. This gallium nitride, though it doesn't grow naturally, now we will have to build it layer by layer on something called as silicon carbide, and India had to develop this process to grow crystals without even a single defect, and this would have a yield problem when you are developing a new technology, okay. Now what was this yield problem? You are, for example, if you are growing some 10 plants, in that only one will survive and that will give the yield, okay. And when you are developing 100 chips over here, and you will find 95% of them are actually duds. And the third one is the sanction fear, okay. Now we are a signatory of the Wassenaar Agreement, and now India had to prove that it could build the ecosystem without violating the international norms or without relying on the black market that is already there, okay. So these were the three issues for which India had to struggle, and we have triumphed our way through it. Now let us understand what exactly is this gallium nitride chip. Okay, so now the traditional chips are actually made up of silicon. Okay, they are okay for our small devices like mobile phones, computer, like this. But for a high stakes combat fighter jets, now you would require a few more chips which are actually more specialized. Okay, for example, now that would have to tolerate the extreme heat. Okay, now silicon chips would actually melt in that condition, while the gallium nitride chip, it can tolerate up to 1000 degree Celsius. And the second thing is that it has very high power with respect to the processing, where it can process up to 300 times faster than the traditional silicon chips. And also this acts as the eyes for the fighters, where now the radar are the brain, but to see much beyond what actually is there with respect to the current technology, now gallium nitride will improve the band gap. Okay, and now the last one is the compactness. Okay, now gallium nitride chips are actually very small, okay, by size, so this will have the compactness in our fighter jets. So how exactly India developed such a complex technology? Okay, so DRDO was given the primary task for the development of this technology, and under DRDO there were two institutions. The first institution is the solid state physics laboratory, which I've already told you. Okay, this actually manufactured the core material behind the gallium nitride technology, and there was gallium arsenide enabling technology center at the Hyderabad. This actually went through a very grueling process where every chip fabrication actually took 80 days with very precision steps, and a single mistake could ruin this 80 days process. And by the end of January 2026, India officially announced that we have developed the GaN-based monolith chips. Okay, so this is how we develop this technology. So now what are the implications of developing such technology? So with this development, India has entered into an elite club which included US, France, Russia, Germany, South Korea and China, who have such technology, advanced technology, and this would mean that we have a strategic sovereignty. Okay, now if somebody who is actually manufacturing this, if they say no, then we can say that we already have this. Okay, and if anybody asks us in future, then we can develop it by our sense, by our own means. Okay, and now second thing is that we can upgrade the current fleets. For example, the Tejas we have, and we also have Su-30 MKI and other fighter jets we are actually planning to build. Now we can upgrade our fleet which has the advanced technology of radar. Okay, along with this we have the beyond aircraft technology integration, such as missile, okay, or drones or naval radars or ISRO's satellites. Okay, and next is the commercial potential. Now this GaN technology is for the future 6G, 7G or whatever generation of mobile connectivity, and along with that we can have the ultra fast EV charging technology as well, and also this will actually open a massive domestic market for manufacturing of advanced technology. Okay, so these are the implications of development of this technology. I hope this video was informational for you. Thank you so much. We'll be back with another video.